Hey guys, here we got the start of another project. I already got it tore down. I forgot to take a video of it when I first brought it home. It looked pretty rough. I was kind of too excited to tear into it, I guess, to start making a video. But yeah, this is it. It's a 82 450 Nighthawk Honda. Like I said, it was in pretty bad shape, but we're tearing it down, getting into it. And yeah, we're going to see if we can make a kind of on-off-road scrambler out of it. Not really a restoration, but a resto mod here. Yeah, she's pretty crusty and dirty. Had some bees down here in the frame, had to spray out. They must have crawled up in from underneath, and that was a nice little treat. Had some squirrels in the airbox here and everything, but we got it stripped down pretty good. Came with lots of extra parts, which is good and bad. Lots of other stuff: forks, wheels, exhaust, all that stuff. All this tail section we're not gonna need, all that stuff. Got it lightened up quite a bit. Couple gas tanks, rear sections. Has a nice seat though, so that's a bonus. You usually always have to modify the seat. And come outside here, it even came with a spare frame. Spare frame for it. Hopefully won't need any of that, but it does have triple trees and clamp and spare airbox and swing arm and stuff, so that's nice to have just in case something happens. You upset it. Need that stuff. But yeah, that's the start of it. We'll see how it goes. Alright, there's the new look. Alright, got it lifted up. Drop the swing arm down. Remove the shock, drop the swing arm down. Adjust the chain. It's a little loose and stuff, and it kind of gets tight when you go up because of the angle and everything. But we're going to be putting a bigger sprocket on the front and a bigger sprocket on the back, so hopefully that'll help with that a little bit, but it's not too bad. Yeah, so the stock shocks were 13.5, and what we're going to put on is 17.5. But they might not be in for quite a while, and I don't want to wait. So what we're going to do for now is we took these stock shocks. We got another set if it doesn't work out, so that's okay. We took these stock shocks and cut the end off it here. Cut the end off. And then we're going to take it from 13.5. Took this piece of pipe, cut out a 4-inch section. We're going to weld that in there. And weld that in there. And have a little extension. Not going to be the greatest. And all the fluid came out, so it's probably going to be pretty bouncy and shitty to ride on. But at least we're going to get a feel for the height and everything that works, and hopefully them new shocks will come in soon, so it won't matter anyways. Might look kind of funny, but should work. And then we can get it sitting at ride height, and then we can work away at the rest of it, the panels and the fitment and all that stuff. Work away from there instead of waiting for shocks and blocking it up all the time and bring it around like that. Alright, we get the front wiring all cleaned up. Yeah, so I mean lots of room there because it was sticking out pretty far because everything went in the headlight bucket and everything, but we're getting rid of that. And we're just going to put on Enduro style cover with a headlight built into it. But just for fitment right now, we're taking the cover off this to see how that fits on there. And seems like that's going to fit okay. Has enough room in here now. It's not sticking out. And then we'll have one with the headlights. Then we'll have our headlight again. And we also took the fender off there for fitment, because we're going to run a dirt bike style front fender here. Like that. Should look pretty good. But yeah. And a major valve cover gasket leak here. Both sides. Looks like it's only 2 bolts to take it out, but there's not enough clearance here to take it off and change it, so it looks like we're gonna have to drop the motor. But came with this gasket kit, brand new gasket kit. I'm not sure if the gasket's in here or not. There's some head gaskets and base gaskets and all this other stuff, but if not, there is a spare motor somewhere. Luckily this is a stress membered frame where you can just drop the motor down without actually having to pull it out the side. So that was nice. I just dropped it down. It's not even all the way out. Gave me enough room to get in here to pull that cover off. And actually I don't think it was leaking. Like it was leaking all over the cylinder here, and then I'd say somebody put a new gasket on it and just never cleaned it, because that looked fine, but I razor bladed it up, and I'm still going to put the other cover on because the gasket looks good and everything. So put that on. I got the carbs pulled off, so I'll go ahead and clean them up and all that stuff, put the cover on, and then put the carbs back on and put the motor back up in. There we got the modified stock shocks all installed, welded up. Gotta take them back off and paint them and stuff, but it's not a permanent option anyway, so it don't really matter. But anyways, they're welded on there. Just like that. There, that'll give it right height. And hopefully it's not too bouncy. I guess we'll find out. Alright, here we go. We got the kind of mocked up there. We got the fender. It's just zip tied on there. Ain't getting the mounts yet because we're not using this stuff. Just wanted to see how it looked. Kind of get that look. The exhaust isn't complete. It's not hooked up at all. Pretty sure that's where the muffler's going to go. Something like that. Nice and high and tucked up in. And snake it down in through here, back out this side, come around, run it up high along here, and wire it together right there, and then run a single pipe back, like that. The shocks are working pretty good, sitting pretty good. Got the kickstand made. Had to lengthen that out a lot. It worked out to be about 6 inches higher seat height, so she's got lots of ground clearance, and it worked out great. And to get this rear fender mounted, made a little bracket here to hold it up. It's got a little toolbox in there. It's pretty neat. But yeah, still needs a lot of work, but working away at it. Getting there. Alright, we're going to be making some header flanges. Unlike a car or a snowmobile, motorbikes don't make it easy because they get these stupid things with the flanges and everything. So I cut it, make a stub with a sleeve on it. Here's the old one. It's kind of big and ugly and all seized up and everything. And then that just drops on there like that on this sleeve and holds it on. And then that's the pressure holds it against the head, and that's how it works. Kind of sucky, but that's how it works. So, cut my own flanges, a lot more low profile, gonna be a lot cleaner looking. So, here's one that's done. Take that, drop it on. It's actually gonna go on the back side and get welded on. Yeah, it'll kind of look like that. A lot more low profile and a lot cleaner. And that'll go like that. Hold on. And then I'll weld another pipe onto this and continue on the exhaust. And that should look a lot better. It tucks in there a lot better. Get this flange. This sticks out there like that. It's very noticeable and kind of like 70s retro style, I guess. I never ever liked these. Might help with cooling or something with the fins on it and being a big heat sink. Something like that. But that's alright. I ain't worried about that. So, take this, put it up in there like that, and you don't hardly see anything. A lot more modern, tucked up in there. Nice looking. And then with another pipe on there welded, you won't see this sucky little stub, so that won't look crappy anymore. You'll just see a nice pipe and flange bolted on good. When I pulled out them studs, because they were really bad shape, so I'm going to use bolts. These are rough. And of course, I broke one off in there, which is no big deal. Taking it off, no big deal. Drilled it out and tapped it. That went great until they broke the tap in there. So now there's a tap broke off in there. And I tried to get it out, tried to weld it, tried to drill it. That ain't happening. So what I'm going to try is not use it and just use this one up here, but one bolt ain't going to hold it, and all it does is hold the pipe on there. And this is a solid mount motor, so I made this plate here that hooks onto this motor mount. So I'm going to weld a bar to go from here to here with a opening, and then thread it. And then I'm just going to thread a bolt that should put pressure on this flange. That's why this one only has one hole. It'll also go into the top right here. And then this bottom one with no hole, I'll just weld a little collar on there for the bolt to sit on. And then run the bar here, like I said, the threaded part from here. And then it'll just thread the bolt, and the bolt will put pressure against this and push down on it, just the same as threading it into the head. And as long as this is strong enough and doesn't deflect too much when you tighten it, that should push pressure on this side and hold the pipe tight. I mean, when you look at how small they are, I mean, I'm not sure what size this is, some kind of metric, but it's smaller than a quarter. So, yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure to hold that flange on there. Plus, there's going to be other exhaust mounts, all that stuff, so really the one bolt would hold it tight in the top, but then it'd hold it sideways and it'd leak. So basically, if I can just hold a little bit of pressure on this and tighten that and tighten them in together, it should go. It might leak. I might have to try to drill it out again and redo my thing and get that to work. But hopefully this mount from here to here, just putting the bolt in there, we'll see how it goes. Well, I got some travel bags mounted. I got the tank bag on, so that'll be nice to have. And I got the side bags. Definitely going to build some heat shields for the exhaust and some kind of bracket to hold this bag out so it looks nice. But yeah, not too bad. Should be able to carry lots of stuff, but not be too heavy. But yeah, these came off the Hayabusa, so still, thus far, I'm still only $800 into this bike. So for how far we come, not bad. And that's as far as I can go without spending any money on this. So now it's time to get the parts and put it together and go from there. Lots of stuff coming in, and I'll do a update on how much it costs to get this all done when I'm all finished up. But the first box came in, and we're gonna start putting some parts on. But that's the end of the video. So if you want to follow this project and see how it goes and turns out, like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, and we'll see how it turns out.